The following is a transcript between Matías De Stefano, referred to as me, and his higher self, referred to as I am, originally produced on July 8, 2021, under the constellation of CÁNCER in the mental week, examining through the ankle chakras. Me, deep peace, deep emptiness, nothing. I am, welcome to the ocean. Me, what is the ocean? I am, Okeanos, the great circular river that surrounds all lands. That's what the Greeks called the idea of infinity. An ocean is the great mass of water contained by the seas, that which does not directly touch the continental coasts. The great ocean currents that keep the temperatures of the world circulating, moving through them. But do you know what is curious about the oceans? Me, what? I am, that humans know more about the sky, the moon, and the stars than they do about the deep sea. Me, why? I am, because of the pressure of so much water together makes it impossible to investigate. The average depth of the ocean is around 4,000 meters, while there are parts, such as the Mariana Trench, which exceeds 11,000, that is 11 kilometers deep, 3,000 meters deeper than Everest. A human can reach up to 13 meters before starting to have problems due to water pressure. Every liter is like a kilo on your body and in an ocean. It's like feeling those kilos in all directions pressing down to the point where it can burst inside you. That's why special equipment is used to get as deep as possible, and even then you can't stay long, so investigating millions of square kilometers becomes impossible in territories where sunlight doesn't reach. Me, it is impossible to see. I am. Impossible to know the creatures that hide in the depths, the strange realities that happen between the cracks of the continental ridges, the canyons, valleys, plains, and mountains submerged for millions of years. More than 80% of the oceans remain unknown to our species, hidden in autonomy, under the shadows and pressure. Me, that is to say that there is much more than what we think we see and what we discover. I am. These days you have delved into emotions that lie in the subconscious. They are but a poor and maximum 20% of what is really hidden inside of you and inside of every human being. Me, it's a lot to discover. So, if it has taken me years to go over some oceanic territories of my interior, returning to the same circumstances, it is because I still can't even understand what inhabits 20%, not knowing the 80% that will take me an eternity to know. I am, and that is fantastic, because it reminds us how infinite we are. There will always be something new to discover. There is still a certain percentage of the Earth's surface that we don't know and nobody has stepped on, and that nobody knows what it hides. And it implies that we still don't even know what we can see and touch, that we still ignore as humanity some parts of the territories in which we can walk. And as individuals, we tend to ignore a large percentage of that world. How many are really aware of everything that exists on this planet? Its countries, cultures, languages, territories, histories, discoveries. Knowing the known world is also a great challenge throughout life. Imagine that the continental surfaces, the Americas, Africa, Oceania, Asia, and Europe, are what you can know and what you can be conscious of or unconscious of, but that, in a certain way, you know that they're there. The territory that a human can walk is less than 30% of the planetary surface, and of that 30%, you may know 1% in your lifetime. So, while you are aware of the 1%, be in your country or environment of birth with its culture and traditions, and the places you have traveled to or read and learn about, on the other hand, you will be unaware of the remaining 29%, of which you may have some idea, but a very vague or no idea at all. Me. Let alone the ocean, then. I am more than 70% of the Earth's surface, more than 80% unknown, in which, in turn, hides almost 85% of the animal and plant species that are completely unknown to humans. Me, wow. I am. Imagine then that the oceans are your subconscious. There you will be able to understand how difficult it is to really become aware of the subconscious, knowing that forever a large territory will be in the shadows, because the light will never reach the bottom, unless... Me, what? I am. That you dare to dive, to face the risk of submitting yourself to the pressure of its emotional waters, to navigate towards the deep where darkness dominates everything, to dare to go through the spaces that no one has ever touched, surrounded by creatures that you don't know they even exist, perhaps with the shapes of your worst nightmares. The ocean is beautiful seen in a sunset, and it hides the fears of every human beneath the calm surface. The eternity of horizon terrifies those who seek to reach a port, a destination, something to hold on to in an irregular territory that can become unstable and without any direction. To sail the oceans is not an easy task, and much less so when the objective is not to reach a port, but to live the depths of the ocean itself. Me. I was always afraid of the oceans, but because I didn't know that I had died drowned in the middle of the sea a few lifetimes ago. However, I faced that fear, and today I can get on a boat without any problems. I have even dared to jump into the sea from a boat to swim, something unthinkable before. Despite this, I am still afraid of not knowing what is underneath, creatures like sharks and other animals. I am. They are like the hidden fears that you think you've overcome, but they remain there. Just because you've managed to kill a shark doesn't mean that they cease to exist. They reproduce, and the oceans are infested with them. It's not a matter of eliminating sharks, but of being aware of them. Me, knowing that they are there, makes me able to take my precautions. I am, and recognizing that it's because of the sharks that the schools are controlled. It all makes sense. Think about it. If there were no sharks controlling the fish population on the reefs would devour much of the phytoplankton and zooplankton, causing a mismatch in oxygen production, and we would suffocate to death. Predators control this. Fears, the sharks of the subconscious, control the shoals of the imagination, so that we can take care of our fragile bodies. Not knowing the role of the shark is what leads us to live in terror of the subconscious, of facing what lurks there, and so fear devours our lives. But by knowing it, by looking at it, by understanding it, our interaction with fear is different, because we respect its function, and we recognize the logic of the environment, and from there we can navigate the waters with awareness. Me. It reminds me of all of the mythological stories of the sea monsters. I am, oh yes. In every culture there have been water monsters hiding in the shadows of the subconscious, terrorizing sailors and those who approach the shores. Kraken, Leviathan, Syrians, Jormungandr, Makara, Hippocampus, Umibozu, Hydra, among others. The monsters that terrified sailors of the past are examples of the monsters that haunt humans in their inner oceans. But if you look at the historical facts, none of those monsters were real, but rather perceptions, beliefs, fears, confusion, all children of ignorance. Me, and I don't know most of me. I am. Therefore, do not punish yourself by thinking that you have not been able to heal one emotion or the other, or that you have not been able to transcend some of your ghost of the past, inner monsters. Because there will always be, as long as you do not know parts of you. Life is a path of discovery, of self-knowledge, of the perfect vehicle to discover existence. Me, I cannot know the whole ocean that holds my body floating in the waves, but I can open myself to feel it. I am. You can feel the whole ocean by closing your eyes. You can perceive it all through sensation and imagination. There you will be shown the dreams and nightmares that flood your soul, your being. In the ocean, you can know what contains what you are. Immerse yourself. Me, I dared to dive my head under waters and let myself be dragged to the bottom, to the shadows. I feel peace in this first descents. I feel freedom despite the pressure. I see the rays of light cross the water and slowly disappear as I go deeper. The shadows surround me, and I feel pressure on my chest, the pain in my joints and in my head. I am. The weight of your inner self on you. Now you have only one choice. Me, to die. I am. To expand. Let the old die, which is held under the pressure of an idea that transcends itself. The subconscious goes beyond your ego. You cannot sustain it from the personality, and you have no choice but to let the ego die so that a new one can be reborn. Me, joining the subconscious as one, I expand. I let go of control to flow into the eternal. I am. So open yourself to all that you can be, all that lives in you without judgment, so you can discover all of the worlds that dwell in you. Me, to allow myself to receive all of the information of what I am beyond who I am, all of the worlds that make me possible. I am a dreamer of worlds. I am. Allow yourself to dive into the waters of this eternal ocean, into the mind of the subconscious. Me, I feel that I fade away. I lose weight, I lose control. I become completely disarmed. I cease to be. I am. And only then you can really be. The journey has just begun. Welcome to the subconscious.